Hi guys, this is Gurneet. In today's video, we'll be exploring top 5 Excel tips and tricks which can be used in data analysis. So let's get started. Our first trick is function. Functions are predefined formulas that are used in calculation which takes a value that the user inputs as an argument. Every function has a specific purpose. For example, an average function. It is used to calculate the average of the values in the column. The functions that we'll be learning in today's video is if. What it does is it is used in automate decision making. In other words, it helps you to perform a logical test, that is what action to be taken if the test is true, or an alternative action if the test is false. Then we have a concatenate function which is used to combine two or more columns together. Then we have a max and min function which is used to calculate the maximum value in the column and the minimum value in the column. So let's go ahead and learn these functions using Excel, and we'll be performing them in a data set. So we have our data set called supermarket sales. Now we will be performing these functions. Our first function is if function. So I'll be performing the if function on our unit price. So now, what we'll do is first we'll go to our formulas and we can see that we have all our functions predefined already. Now, what we'll do is the name of this column I'll write down as rates, and then I'll click on a cell and write down insert function. So our function name is if. So I'll write down if and select go. So it has given me an if and I'll click it. Now, the logical test, which is what logic I'll be inputting it. So let's see. We have a unit price. So the column for that is G and the cell number 2. So what I'll say is that if our unit price value is more than 50, then the product is expensive, and if it's less, that means the product is cheap. So let's go ahead and write down the logic. It's G2 is greater than 50 is the logic, and if it's true, then that means the product is expensive. So I'll write down expensive. And then if the product is less than 50, then the product is cheap. So I'll just write down okay. So the first value is unit price. So it's 74, which is more than 50. So it has shown me expensive. Now I'll drag down and we'll be calculating it. So it has given me the answer. So for the value 15 for the electronic product, it has given me that it's cheap. Then again, it's expensive for the product health and beauty, which is more than 50. So I hope this part is clear. Now, coming to our next trick, which is concatenating. Now I'll be concatenating these two columns, branch and city, as one. So I'll write down the location, and clicking on the cell, insert function. The next function that we'll be using is concatenate. So it has already, they already have given me the function. So I'll select concatenate. And now the text one, which is, what is the first column? It is B2. Then our next is, I'll write down a semicolon. We will be like dividing it. And then the third column is city, which is C2. Now I'll be concatenating it. I'll be writing down OK. So now you can see that it has combined the branch and city column together as a semicolon and the city name Yangon. Now I'll drag it down till here. Since it's a very big data set, I'll be just giving you as an example for few rows. Now you can see that it has combined these two columns together. C, then again A, and then B. So I hope this part is also clear. Now coming to our last trick, the function, which is max and minimum function. So For that, what we'll do is, again, the max and minimum function we'll be using for total value. So I'll write down max and a minimum. In this column, I can write down max. In this column, I can write down minimum. So insert function, again, write down max and say go. So it has given me, I'll click it. Now the maximum value from what row? It says J, J2 till J1001. These are the total number of rows. So I've just given them. So it will give me the maximum value. Now let's see. So as you can see that it has given me the maximum value. So that means in this particular column, the maximum value which we have is 1042. And in the minimum column, I'll again insert the function and I'll write down minimum and click go. So it has given me, and again I'll write down J2 till J1001. Similarly, you can do for any other column which you want. Like for example, in your gross income and any column which has numbers. So I'll click OK. So now it has given me the minimum value. So in the total column, the maximum value which they have is 1042.65 and the minimum value is 10.6785. I hope this is clear. Coming up to our second trick, which is sorting. Sorting is the process of arranging our data into a meaningful order so that it can be analyzed more effectively. Sorting can be performed on a single column as well as on multiple columns. For instance, if we have a data set called sales and we can sort the data set by its month and its year using sorting, and we can see that how many products got sold by our month and our year. So now let's jump to our Excel and perform sorting on our data set. So to perform sorting on a data set, what we'll do, we'll go up to our tab called data, and then there is a function called sort. So what we'll do, we'll click on sort. So it has selected all our data set. Now we can add levels up to that, which I'll explain. Now first column is sort by. So I'll be sorting it according to our gender, or we can do it according to our branch. And the cell values sort on and the in an ascending or descending order. So I'll be doing it in an ascending order. Now, if I click OK, you can see that it has given me all the values at first A in an ascending order, then B, then C, right? Now, we can add up more orders as well. So what we'll do, we can add a level and then we can sort it by gender. So I'll write down gender, cell values, right? And again from A to Z. Or if you don't want to do A to Z, what we'll do, custom list, and we can write down male, then female, and I'll write down add. So I'll select male and female and I'll click OK. So when I click OK, it has given me an order. So that means we have the products according to our gender. First, our branch. We sorted our branch. Then I have put up a gender. Now we can also do it in our product line. By this, using this, we can increase our levels as well. So I can write down more levels. So over here, we can write down what we want, product line, right? So I'll click product line, cell values, and again, I can custom the list. And with that, we can write down home and lifestyle. Then we can have sports and travel. Travel. Then we have electronic. We need to check also. We have food and beverages. And electronic accessories. Either you can do that or you can also arrange it according to your ascending or descender. So I will be doing it according to ascending and descending, right? So I have clicked it. Now it has given me the first electronic accessories, then fashion, food, health, right? So in this order, you can sort your data and you can analyze your data more effectively. We can also perform on quantity. So what I'll do is I'll write down sort. Rather than this, what I'll do, I'll just use sort, right? And again, I'll add a column, then the quantity. So it will be either from smallest to largest or largest to smallest. So whatever we want. So I'll just write down smallest to largest. And now you can see that it has given me the values like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right? So I hope the sorting trick is clear. Coming to our third trick, which is filtering. Filtering is the process of examining a data set according to a certain criteria, and the other rows with the values will be hidden. Now, for example, if we have a data set of a student's mark sheet in a classroom, so we can perform many number of filters like equals to, does not equal to, or greater than or equal to, and less than or equal to. We can also retrieve top 10 values, below average, above average, and we can even customize our filter. Like for instance, if we want our student's name who has scored exact 90 score in our class, so what we can do, we will apply our filter and we will click on the 90 marks and it will click OK. So we will retrieve all the students name who has scored exact 90 marks. And we can also do it if, for example, we want a range like for, the students who have scored between 50 and 90. So we can use a between filter and we can apply between 50 and 90. So we will get all the students name who has scored between 50 and 90. Now let's perform filtering in our dataset supermarkets sales. Now in our dataset, we can perform filtering on our dataset like on our column payment, right? So what we'll do, we'll go to our data and we'll click on filter. And now we can click, if for example, we want to retrieve the values who have just paid using a credit card. So I'll just write down credit card and I'll just get the values just for the credit card. Now you can see that all the other values got hidden, right? Now we can also sort it, filter it by cash. So I'll click on cash and I'll see that all my value, all the like in sales which which got payment as cash got retrieved, right? Now we can also perform filter on our total value. So I'll apply filter. And for example, number of filters, if I want a range, for example, as you know, our minimum value was 10. So I'll just write down 50 as our minimum value. Like I want the range from between 50 to, I can write down 900, right? So I'll click OK. So between, which is greater than 50 but less than 900. Oh, I wrote up 900. So I'll write down, first you need to see what is the maximum value, which is 1042, right? So exactly. So I have written the filter between 900. So you can see that only the values which are in between this range will be displayed. Then I can change the filter to top 10 as well. So it will display the top 10 values of as the item. So if I do that, you can see that it has given me the values, the top 10 values. Then we can also perform above average. So the it has calculated the average value, and these are the above average values. And we can also have the below average. So the below average. Right. So I hope the filtering is clear. Coming to our fourth trick, which is pivot tables. So a pivot table is a tool to calculate, summarize, and analyze your data, and it lets you see the comparison trends and patterns in your data. So, for instance, if you need to calculate a sum or average in your business situation, like calculating sales by date, month, or department, or the customer, so that we can do using pivot tables. Now, let's create pivot tables for our own data set. So, in our data set, what we'll do, we'll go to Excel and we will click Insert, and you can see that there are recommended pivot tables. So we'll click on pivot table, and you can see that the table it took was supermarket sale, and I'll click OK. Now it opened up another worksheet. So now I'll show you a trend, a member wise sale. So as you can see in our customer type, we have either it was a member or it was a normal customer. So we'll see how many sales got over. So let's see. In our columns, I'll take customer type. So as you can see in customer, we have member and we have normal, and it will calculate the grand total. And in our values, I'll write down sum of total. So it will calculate the sum of total. So now you can see that the total sales for the member was this, and for the normal was this. So it calculated me the grand total. Right. Now, our second trend which we'll see is gender wise sales. So what I'll do in my columns, I'll give the number as gender, right? So it is gender, male and female. And in my rows, I'll be writing down the product line, which is the what products got sold. So it is electronic accessories, fashion accessories, food, and all these, right? So according to male and female. Now in our values, I'll write down sum of total. So it gave me, so the total male for electronic accessories were this much, sum of total, and for fashion accessories this much. So it calculated me, it gave me a grand total, right? So as you can see, there is a trend that male, this much male, the total sale was for electronic accessories by male was this, and for female was this, right? I hope this is clear. Now we can also calculate an hourly analysis. So for that, what we'll do, let me just now you can see for hourly we need time, right? So let me find time. So I'll write it down over here, time. So as you can see, hourly time, and then the sum of total in my, where is the total? In my values. So you can see at 10 a.m. this was the sum of total, at 11, 12, 1. So the grand total calculated at this point. So I hope, now let me create sheets for different. So I'll go, this one is my hourly analysis. I'll write down hourly analysis, right? I'll go again to my home, and I'll again insert a pivot table for member wise sale, right? So this will be member wise sales. So for that, I already showed you, right? In my columns, what will be there? Customer type. And in my values, it will be total. So you can see this is the member wise sale, right? This one is hourly analysis, and again another which I showed you was gender wise. So again, okay, and this one is gender wise sales, right? Now I'll click on the pivot table, the gender in columns, product line in my rows, and value will be the total. So this one is my gender wise sales, right? In this one, I can also include, let me see if I include my product line in this one. So again, according to the members as well. Again, in this one, sum of total, if I click on the table, let me see again the product line. So I hope this is clear. Now coming to our last trick, which is quick analysis. So this function helps you to quickly format your data into a chart, into a table, a summary, and highlight those figures with just few steps. So with the pivot tables that we created in our last trick, what we can do, we can create charts, we can create another tables using those pivot tables. So now let's go ahead and create some charts and analyze your data. Now, with this data set, let me show you how we can do some quick analysis. So first we'll select certain columns. For example, customer type till my total value, and I'll just highlight some cells. And you can see that there is a very small table that the quick analysis, we can also do control plus Q. So I'll click it and you can see that I have certain options. For example, formatting, charts, calculating the total value, tables, and spark lines. Now with the formatting, what we can do, you can see that it has calculated the maximum, like if the 102 is the maximum value, it is showing me the half. Like 184 is the maximum, so it is giving me the full color. With the color scale also, it can differentiate. You can see that which value is greater, which value is small. With the icon set, with the greater than, it has highlighted the great like big values. And using charts also, we can see that using stacked bars, there is for the product line, and with the blue highlight gives the unit price, the orange gives us the quantity, and the gray gives us the tags. So using quick analysis, you can quickly create your charts. You can also calculate the sum, total sum, right? Your average, your count. And with the tables, you can create another pivot table like this also. Like we created it using insert, but with the quick analysis, we can do it like this also. It has given me the analysis, and using spark lines, it gave me the line. So how, whether the sales are going up or down. Now the using the pivot tables also, we can do quick analysis like creating the chart. So what I'll do, using this table, I can also insert a chart. So recommended charts, we can also have a pie chart, right? So if I highlight this, you can see that the electronic accessories, the orange shows us the fashion accessories. So it has calculated, given us a pie chart. We can also have a line. So it gave us the sales line in this manner. So the male and female, how much the sales pattern, right? And we can also have using a bar chart in this manner. So it gave us in sports and travel, how many sales were according to female and according to male. So I hope this is clear. Thanks for watching. We'll come up with more videos on tips and tricks around Excel, which can help you in your interviews and advance your learning. So stay tuned and keep following for more.